All right, guys, so me and Sean are out on another rip. We are on our way to pick up another F-250.
How many is this for the month?
Number 2.
No.
3.
Like 4 or 5.
4.
Yeah, it's up there.
This might be 4 for the month. Is it? It's 4. This is round 6'4", wide 6'4".
The old 76.
76, and then now this one. This is number 4. I don't think I bought any other 250s this month, but maybe I have.
We've been involved.
Oh, I got the Ram truck. So I got that, but that's not a Ford though. Doesn't really. Anyhow, Trevi Commercial Construction right there.
Oh,
nice. Look at that. I didn't know I was commercial real estate.
we're in the middle of nowhere.
Anyhow, we're going to pick up a truck. It's a 2014 Lariat 6.7 truck, and look at that. What do you think's wrong with that one?
6'4".
6'4".
It's been parked there. That's what we're going to sell it.
6'4" on the side of the road. Needs some help.
Glass in the back.
Anyhow, we're going to pick up a truck. I figured I would at least show you guys before it was loaded on the trailer. But we're driving. How's the 6-liter review?
Well, after you fixed it, we decided we were able to drive it, so now we're driving.
Yeah, now we're on our way. We're on our way, guys.
7 minutes.
7 minutes away. All right, boys, this is the unit we've just picked up. 2014 Lariat Ultimate. Nice. 6 liters just smells like coolant. That's what it smells like. So we'll pop this guy and see what's going on. We had pressurized the system earlier, and I checked and this thing was leaking a little bit. But now look at this, we got more freaking coolant and it looks like the cap. So maybe it's just the cap, or maybe it's over pressurizing it or something. There's definitely, I heard it squeak. Oh, it squeaked right there. It's got some good pressure in it. Coolant leaking right there, coolant all over the battery. So maybe it's the cap, or maybe we don't know. All right, so we discovered that Sean's letting the smoke out of there. It was you, buddy.
We got plane to catch.
Yeah, we're late to pick up the engine. Well, kind of late, but 6.7 is it's loaded up, but it's getting towed by the 6-liter. I don't know what's up with the coolant. Maybe it's CGR cooler. I need to check that. Go from there, but we're on our way to the 6.7. No. What's that?
I had no oil pressure.
Well, we have some now. Buddy, that's not good. Remember when I said that just don't let you turn her off? We're gonna have to go.
Like we get a hotel.
We're gonna have to go get another truck or some freaking standpipes. We don't have the survival kit with us either.
It's like a half-assed one.
This isn't good. All right, well,
We're
busting out the foreskin. Son of a.
Buddy.
We have a high pressure. If we have starting fluid, it'll start and run, right? If it, in theory, let's. So we're right outside ATS.
Yeah.
So hey, do you guys got any starting fluid? All right, you ready? And just when I was just talking the whole way on the way up here about how good this unit was. Like, I'm like, hell yeah, this thing's working good, everything's all right. And then here we are. It's definitely some sort of a, I mean, we got coolant here, but it's for sure some sort of a high pressure oil situation where it's just not.
This has happened to me so many times when I truck.
And then here I am. Yeah. Here I am picking up the engine for the other truck. We just got that thing, but it doesn't even run. Like, if that thing ran, it wouldn't matter. We just just do the old swap. I mean, technically, he said it ran. It just had a misfire. So in theory, let's put that thing back together in the parking lot.
Pieces, yeah.
Winch this thing up. I mean, in theory, these things normally will start when they're cold.
It depends on how bad the leak is, though.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not even anywhere to eat we can walk to.
And the 6-liter survival kit dwindled down kind of far.
It's in the shop. The most important part is in the shop.
But at least I brought the foreskin though. That was good. At least we could see. That's nice to like see what it is.
If we wouldn't have brought that, we probably wouldn't have this problem. 6 liters are like that.
Well, yeah. I would just trusted it. I was happy with this thing, and here we are. Just freaking, we were fine, and then now No, we're not. And I should keep some standpipes right here. Standpipes and
take them with me at all times. I don't have standpipes. Mine's 03.
Yeah, you're 03. Well, let's see if we can find something in this area and buy it to drive. We'd have to leave something here to get.
Leave me here.
Leave you here. That's right. So we left. We came back. We let it sit for maybe an hour and a half.
Got some food in us.
Got some food. Well, what time did we? Is it 8? Is it actually 8 p.m.? There's no way.
I think the leak's too big, but
it's almost there. Should I give her a little ether?
Well, it doesn't kill it, makes it stronger, so.
That's right. No bueno, huh?
It's mad.
That's silly. Well, at least we had a good dinner. We had a great dinner. Now my dad's on his way, and I called AAA, come pick this thing up. They should haul the truck, and then my dad will haul the truck and the trailer, and then we don't have to come back up tomorrow. There he is. The man.
You gotta go.
You go ahead. Look at that unit. See, kind of a similar unit to this unit, you know? Silver with the little two-tone on the bottom. Mine's just not as nice. It is a good workout. See, you already went to the gym today. You get a little double. So hard. Little double one.
Tires are pumped.
Oh yeah. Oh, that thing actually looks kind of pissed.
Turning butter. Turning time into money and money into nothing. Oh.
What do you think? Are you happy for me?
Sure.
Well, you know, I have the solution to my problem right here, right there. But it's just that's the 6.7. Yeah. We just picked her up from the machine shop, and then here we go. And then we got the other one on the trailer, but that one doesn't run. Well, it probably could have. Honestly, we could have. We could have made it run. No, we already tried. Yeah, it's been almost 3 hours. But yeah, we even primed it with some starting fluid, get it to spin real fast. Still wouldn't fire. So that's it. Well, I guess a tow strap maybe just to pull this over, or unless you want to just push it up into like one of those parking spots right there. Yeah. Okay. All right, there she is. Nice. Hey. All right, guys, so the truck is back at the shop. It's nice having AAA. It works out pretty good. Last night when we figured what's the best way to get home without having to like drive down here, unload, go back up in another truck, and then pick this thing up and then come back home because it's like 4 hours driving. They just came and picked it up and then delivered it, which is pretty cool. And I paid for it because, you know, I'm paying for AAA. So the other, you know, the concern is we have some coolant. I don't think that's the issue. It's definitely a high pressure oil issue. So it's either going to be something in the high pressure oiling system. So if you guys aren't familiar with 6 liters, they run off of high pressure oil. So it takes the low pressure oil, like your normal oil pump. It fills up a little bowl right up underneath here with the oil cooler. Then that oil goes into the high pressure oil pump, and it, you know, pressurizes that. It needs about 600 PSI of oil pressure to start. And so it uses the oil pressure. It's a Huey injection system. So it uses the oil pressure as a hydraulic fluid in order to fire a piston to the cylinder. So like on a common rail or like a Cummins truck, or most turbo diesels that have like a CP3, CP4 pump, it has a 30,000 PSI fuel system to fire the direct injector, basically at top dead center or during the combustion cycle on an engine. But you need that high pressure to overcome the cylinder pressures, because let's say these things have 3 to 600 PSI of compression in there. You need a lot of pressure to overcome that and get it in there, evaporated enough to where it combusts on its own, especially in a diesel. So with this one, we have low pressure fuel. The fuel pressure is only about 55 PSI in here, 45 to 55 PSI, but then the high pressure oil goes between, I think when it's idling should be about 1800 up to I think 5,000 or somewhere in there. I know it's somewhere in that range, but that's how it controls fuel delivery and all the other stuff. So are reliant on the high pressure oiling system, and there is a ton of O-rings in that system that are very, very common to fail. Since we got this truck from the auction and it needed a couple things, we never really addressed anything or bulletproofed it. We didn't put anything new on it just because it already ran, so there wasn't really much to do. Normally when they don't run and you have it all apart, that's when you replace everything. So anyhow, I think the first place we're going to start on this thing is actually the IPR. We're going to double check that. And then if that's not the case, we're going to go ahead and pull off the passenger side valve cover and we're gonna pressurize the oiling system with the air compressor, see if we could hear a leak, and then try to figure out where this high pressure oil leak is coming from, because it only built 200 PSI yesterday when we were trying to start it, and it needs a minimum of 500 to start. If it's just a standpipe, usually once the truck cools off, the oil's thick enough to build enough ICP to actually start. And once they start, they'll typically stay running for a little while. They'll be a little bit low on power, but that's why we were trying to get it sped up fast enough to actually run, build up enough high pressure oil to run, but that wasn't the case, so we might have a bigger problem maybe with the IPR or something like that. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna pressurize the system first, because that makes sense. And then after that, we're gonna go ahead and pull off the valve cover, IPR, all that stuff, and go from there. Also, we might be getting an upgrade, right? Big upgrade. So on the Rusty truck outside, it's always had a really big whistle to it. It has like a 10-blade turbo in it. Well, we decided to go ahead and pull it out. So you can see right here, we're just cleaning this thing up. But this is actually a Garrett Power Max. It's a stage 1 Power Max. So it's a lot bigger of a turbo. I guess it'll, on their website, they advertise that it'll flow an extra 175 horsepower over stock, which is pretty good. So this is a pretty good turbo to put on there, and it's gonna make a ton of whistly noises. It'll make it a little bit easier to get to the IPR in the back of the engine. I've been wanting to put this turbo on here anyhow, so why not upgrade the turbo while we're doing the IPR? I got a new one from O'Reilly's this morning, as well as we have standpipes here as well. So that's the goal. Figure out the oil leak, pressurize the system with the ICP, and then we'll go from there. All right, so right now we have the leak down tester. I have it connected to a little custom fitting right here, basically putting shop air into the high pressure oil system. And what we're trying to do is actually see, oh, there it goes. But I feel like they'll do that anyhow.
It was clogged?
No, well, it's just pushing all the oil out of whatever leak is there. So it takes a little bit. So we got 100 PSI on it. I like using the leak down tester because you could actually turn the pressure up and then actually bleed it down. Because normally, if you just have your shop air connected to this and you release it and it has pressure built, it'll just spew oil all over the shop. Whereas this, you could at least turn it down and then release it. So you can definitely hear that. I feel like they always gurgle.
Drop it into the pan.
So it could be something with standpipe or that, but it didn't start hissing for a while. I could hear some air coming out of here. You could probably hear it on that side too, right? I think one of the more common areas is the standpipe on the passenger rear. So maybe we'll just go ahead and pull off the valve cover while we're here too. All right, so we got the turbo out. Now try to get the IPR socket on there and loosen it. But this thing looks like, I don't know if it's ever been touched, but you would assume, but maybe not. All right, go ahead. Oh, look at that. Just blowing in.
Not pretty.
It's not good. All right, so we got a new one. Just picked this up at O'Reilly's because it has a limited lifetime warranty, right? And then looking at this screen, this thing was completely pushed in. It was mashed. So like that. Eric pulled it apart, obviously, but before that, it was just really brittle and pissed. So we're just gonna do this before we do any of the standpipe stuff, because we might be able to get away with just throwing that in there, throw the turbo back on it, and she might fire. And then that would be nice. So here you go. So this one, you can see how it's nice and flat. And then this one was, as you've seen it, it was like a bowl. It was like completely caved in. So I guess let's throw that guy on there and see what happens. All right, new IPR valve is in. So hopefully that's the problem. I feel like if it was a standpipe leak, it would have probably started making some more noises sooner than that. But just take a look at these turbos side by side. So if you look at the compressor wheel of this one versus the compressor wheel of that one. So see how much bigger that guy is than this one. So I think this is like a 3782, and then this is a 3788. So it's a lot bigger compressor wheel. Because Garrett turbos, I think they go off of, they're probably the same turbine housing, but the compressor housing is a lot different. And maybe it's bigger in the back too. But here's the part numbers. There's OEM turbo, so this should be an 05 to 07 turbo, which is technically the smallest turbo that they make. And this is the upgraded Garrett Power Max Stage 1, so 3788. And this thing's gonna just make all the noise. And it was on that truck outside. It also has a 10-blade exhaust housing. So you can see in here, if you count the blades, they're 10 blades. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then in this one, you can see how many more blades. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have 13 blades in this turbo. versus 10 blades in this turbo. So if you guys wonder why certain 6 liters just whistle like crazy, it's because of the turbine wheel blade number. So the 03 to 04s, or the early 03s and early 04s, they actually had a 10 blade turbo, which is what is on the left, the upgraded one. And then in the later years, in the 04 and a half and up, or I think even 04s, a lot of them, they switched to the 13 blade. So it quieted it a lot down, but it also improved some of the spool and some of that sort of stuff. But technically, you can make more power with this because it flows more exhaust out of it. But this turbo is definitely going to be a little bit laggier. I know it is.
Sound better.
It's going to sound better, but it's going to be a little bit laggier. But no, I'm really curious to see how it is, because definitely when we were towing some of the hills and stuff, even though the truck was at full boost, it just felt like it didn't have enough. Whereas I think now with this thing, again, you can see the size of that compressor wheel. It's definitely going to be a little bit laggier, but it's going to flow a lot more power. And then when we go with the compound setup, honestly, I don't know what to do, because in theory with the compounds, we might want to almost go back with this, but maybe we'll do the KC, like the 9 blade or the 10 blade exhaust wheel with the 360-degree thrust bearing and all that stuff in here too. I kind of want to switch out this VGT actuator, because I think that truck was doing the same thing as the other one. Okay. So let's swap that real quick, because I just don't want to have to fight that again. All right, so we're hooked up. I went ahead and I cranked it with the ICP out with basically a vacuum line or a fuel hose going into the oil tank just to bleed out all the air. So now we're gonna see if this unit will fire up. Injectors are clicking. Come on. All right, so let's see what this thing is at when we're cranking it. So ICP shows it has 1500. So we should be firing right now. All right, so he's gonna key it on and we're gonna see what happens. All right, so looking at the codes, because it's still just cranking and not starting, it has fuel. So look at the codes right here. So we have IET, which is fine because mass airflow. Cylinder 1, injector circuit low. Cylinder 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number 9 injector is low. No, it's cylinder number 2 glow plug circuit, and then on board. So something with the FICM is not communicating right. Is why it's not firing, because it has fuel, it's just not actually firing the injectors at the right time. All right, so we just double checked the connectors to the FICM, and we actually just put another one in it. So I did the on-demand self-test again, the electronic test, key on, engine off. So you ready? Ready. There she is. Oh man. Now we gotta hear what the turbo sounds like. Nothing yet. It's gotta spool up a little bit. All right. We're back in business. All right, first drive, pulling her out of the shop. You can definitely hear that new turbo. She's freaking loud. Nice, sounds good. I think when I disconnect the batteries, the tune comes off of this thing, so I think I need to hook it up, but man, it sounds freaking cool. All right, so just unloading the 6.7 engine block that we picked up from the machine shop. So that was the whole purpose of the trip, actually, was to get this engine broke down in the parking lot. All right, boys, it is the next day. So we got the new turbo installed on the truck. I just want to drive this thing down the street and see how it handles. And then we're going to unload that truck in the shop. Oh, yeah. Flare, nice, but doesn't really feel much more laggy or anything. It's in boost right now and me just turning around, so sounds good. Tow's good. Feels like it maybe just, I don't know, just feels a little better. It doesn't feel like nothing crazy. Feels a little bit more free flowing, I would say. About the same amount of power, just feels less restricted, I would say. All right, boys, so the next day, day 3, we bought a toolkit from Harbor Freight. So this might actually be the 6-liter survival kit. What ended up happening is we just blew an intercooler pipe off. New turbo, more boost, trailer. I have gloves. I won't need them. Not even five miles over the trip. All right, so we popped right there. We popped another boot. Das Boot. Boys, I don't know if this 6-0 life is for me.
Third time's a charm.
We've literally stopped. This is gonna be the
In 10 minutes.
fourth time. Or this third time in about 20 minutes, so. Damn it. Oh fuck, where's the clamp? Where'd the clamp go? Right here. Alright, so intercooler pipe just blew off twice. And now, this is like an aftermarket boot. So on the inside, there's like a weird little...
You see that knife here?
There's a weird little clamp thing. Actually, maybe
flip it around.
Look at this. Yeah, let's put this, because this side has the clamp, which
For that, yeah, so
would
it's
go
all
in
the wrong
there.
way. Yeah.
And then this go right there.
Yeah, let's put the one on the turbo first.
Okay, we'll get her cleaned up. So anyhow, intercooler pipe has been popping off, and not in a good way.
not pulling at 100.
Not like the fun, not the fun way. So we haven't been pulling at 100, but we're that rag's in the door. So we're just putting her back on, and hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good.
Yeah, pull it. A little bit of windshield spritz. Is that the new cap I got you?
That's the new cap.
This thing like overcharges or something. Overpressurizes it.
Hey, at least we're not those guys.
Of course.
All right, we need a towing review. What do you think of the new turbo?
It definitely helps a little bit. Just all more around power, I feel like. The brakes not so good, but turbo's fine.
You've been pretty good at hammering down on the brakes.
Sometimes you have to.
Well, there's definitely a lot more turbo noise over there, but it's almost not like a whistle. It's like an intake, but I don't know, it just sounds like there's a freaking turbine just idling all the time. And then it speeds up a little bit and comes down a little bit. It just sounds pretty tight. I have a truck on the trailer too, so she's loud.
A little bit of windshield spritz. Is that the new cap I got you?
That's the new cap. Coolant on the windshield. That's not what we want. All right, here she is. Ready for that?
Ready.
Looks clean, sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
If I drove by, I'd stop.
Mm-hmm.
I'd definitely stop. I'd have to.
No.
Here we are. All right. So the one truck that we bought earlier, it's 08 F250 6.4. It ended up needing, I don't know what it needs. Runs and drives, everything seems pretty good with it. One of the tires had a big bubble in it though, so we swapped it at this guy's house. This thing starts and it just smokes like a freaking freight train. All right, so this is a truck we just picked up. It's an 06 F350 Lariat dually, and it is freaking clean. It is two-wheel drive, but very, very clean inside and out. Look at this. Look at that seat right there. Beautiful. Million-button steering wheel, 193,000 miles. It's got an Edge tuner programmer with EGT probe, all that stuff. It has a rear entertainment center for the kids, which is kind of cool. It's just so freaking clean. I wish it was four-wheel drive, but it's two-wheel drive. But it's a pretty good deal. It smokes like crazy. One injector looks like it just hung all the way open, so it just pouring white smoke out of it as soon as you start it. So this thing's doing all right. I think it burped its thing out of it, I hope. I don't know what was going on with it, but it seems to be doing all right. So Sean went ahead and drove the other truck home, and I'm just gonna drive this one. So that's it. So this thing was dripping fuel on the ground, and we said, golly, look at that. Number 8 injector.
Are the studs there? Are the exhaust manifold studs? Can you see?
Yeah. Look at that. It's wet back there. Like, it's literally dripping fuel out of the exhaust. That's how bad. I'm like
Stuck wide open.
Yeah, I mean, this thing has 0 blow-by though. No. Like, so hopefully we get to it, swap the injector before, yeah, all the stuff. Sticker. What is this? Authorized modifications.
Probably thick 'em or something.
Something like that. We got an injector O-ring kit. We got another injector we're gonna put in there. Look at that OEM cap. It looks like this truck is so clean. It sounds like there's an exhaust leak somewhere, like an up pipe or something else. I heard it squealing yesterday when we started it, but guess we could double check that too. Could be where the manifold is.
Hydro lock the studs right out of it, buddy.
That's right. Or maybe he just put a new reman fickum in it.
Part number.
What is it? It's got new batteries in it. This thing's a unit. I thought about putting a brand new IPR in it while we're here. When was the last time you seen an OEM battery cover right there? That's crazy. All right, so Eric went ahead and got this side of the thing all pulled up. Man, this truck looks so freaking clean. Look at that PCV. It's like the truck's not even eating any oil from the PCV system. It doesn't even have any blow-by, which is crazy. And then, because this thing has 190,000, underneath the valve cover looks so clean. And this is actually the original injector, I think. Doesn't say reman. Normally they'll say reman. Right here on the edge, we have another one right there that says reman. So this was out of a, so look at that reman right there. So this one's never been reman, original injector. But the crazy thing is looking at it, it's actually the injector tip. I don't know if we could get that to focus on there. If you look at that right down the side, it cracked. There's a split right down it, which is pretty wild. So that's the reason she was smoking so much. She had a cracked tip on the injector. So throw the other one in it and see how she runs. All right, boys, so Eric got all back together, new injector. So I guess now we do the old long crank and see how she's gonna do. How are you feeling right now?
Brand new.
I'm taking a minute to build some pressure. This thing sounds so like weird when it's cranking. It doesn't sound like. All right, we're back. Oh yeah. Started off a little rough, but now I think we're okay. All right, so we got it outside running, and you can see it still has a little bit of a haze, but underneath the truck, it has a big old muffler. So I'm assuming there's a lot of stuff in that. So I think it's a 4, yeah, it looks like a 4-inch exhaust all the way back. Sounds like the downpipe's rubbing on the firewall too, but get it all back together and we'll go drive it. So far it's running smooth though. All right, so we're out driving the truck. Everything seems super smooth, super clean. Everything cleaned out with the exhaust after a couple good rips, so we've put a couple good miles on it, so should be good to go. But I mean, feels good. Seems like it's on the stock tuning and everything right now. Yeah, she runs nice. Man, what a good looking truck that is. Go ahead and this guy off, but man, 193 shows 4,200 engine hours, and then it has the code in it for the EGR, because the EGR has been removed. It has a 4-inch exhaust on it. Cool thing is with this truck, it has the HVAC. I call this the million button steering wheel because you have all your cruise control buttons over here, but then right here you have the fan, the temperature, and then you can change the mode of the radio and skip songs, the volume and everything right here, which is, it's just cool. I went ahead and cleaned off the steering wheel. That's why I got all the gloves and everything on. Cleaned out all of the grime that was built into these trucks. Normally you'll get a layer of stuff on the steering wheel, so went ahead, cleaned that up. I went ahead and I programmed a remote for it because it didn't have a remote, so program that real quick, and then that's pretty much it. I pulled some stickers off of it that were on it. And man, other than that, this thing is pretty freaking cool. I'm really not sure what to think about these things. Part of me likes it, part of me doesn't. If it was clean again, I think I would be stoked on it. But since you can see it's worn and old looking, I think I'd like to take that off. From the factory, these trucks didn't come with this front lip right here. or the front little fender flare, which I think kind of makes it look a little odd. And since it does have the two-tone, I don't know how to do that unless you matched that two-tone or just completely removed that, but it doesn't look right to me that it has that in the front. It makes the wheel well look big. If it was a black truck, it would be fine, or if it matched on the rear. But from this angle, it just looks like the wheel well is like just like cut out or something. It looks kind of funny. The fact that this truck is so clean and it runs so good, I'm pretty stoked. We just went ahead and threw an injector that we had here. Everything's all good. Took it a minute to clear out, but we took it down the street. Did some pulls with it. Everything feels super strong with it, and it feels like a super solid truck. And I can't believe how clean the interior of it is. But this is wild that we went to pick up this truck, and then we got stranded in my 6-liter, and then 2 or 3 days later, we end up fixing my truck. Well, fixed my truck the next day, and then 2 or 3 days later, we end up with this thing as well. And on the way to get it, we had some more issues, blowing intercooler pipes, doing all that other stuff. As you can tell, slightly, I don't know if you'd consider me addicted. Maybe. I just like these trucks. I like Super Duties. I'm sure you've seen it with Volkswagen guys where they'll get one VW Beetle and then all of a sudden they'll have 10 of them in their backyard, or same with Civics or 240s or drift cars or whatever. And I think just Super Duties is kind of my thing. Pretty excited for what's to come with the compound turbo kit. True Focus sent me some pictures of their just kind of mock-up in the engine bay stuff. They went ahead and ordered some new stuff. But now I have a dilemma because we have the compound turbo F350, the 2017, that we just got the engine back from the machine shop. That's what we were also going to get with the other thing. I just ordered piston rings and bearings and all that other stuff. So we should be able to assemble that motor within the next week. We're going to have the compound turbo 6.7, which is 2017. Super nice truck. Let's call it the ultimate truck. And then we have my silver truck. And then now we have this thing right here. Obviously, this is going to be a flip or a part out. This could easily be a flip. Same thing with my silver truck. I guess we could just sell that thing. But man, I still would like to have a shop truck hanging around to where, like, if I'm somewhere with my truck and it breaks down and I need somebody from the shop to come and grab one, or if we need to haul 2 trailers somewhere. I really, really have always had an eye for a lowered 2-wheel drive dually. Like, the way these trucks look when they're slammed to the ground, they just look like a long limo, and they just look really cool. And I definitely know if we paint match some front end, do some headlights, do the 08 mirrors, tint the windows, take the stickers off the side, put some 22-inch either chrome wheels or some black wheels on it, slam it down to the ground, this truck would look freaking sick, and it would get a ton of attention. I posted in the VIP group last night talking about it, that I just picked it up, and one of the guys in there, he actually used to have a lowered crew cab long bed dually Chevy, and he's like, man, if you do that and you do a giveaway on it, that would be sick. So it would almost make sense for us to do a Super Duty giveaway, since we have been doing so many trucks lately, like the 6-liters and stuff. But let me know, would you guys be interested if we did like 2-wheel drive dually like this, or maybe let's say another 05 like crew cab short bed 4-wheel drive truck, something like that in the future. But as of right now, the giveaway, we still got about 3 weeks left, or 2.5 weeks left on the BMW 340i giveaway. I know I haven't really made a video of this thing on the channel, and I bought it and it was just pretty good. We did the wheels on it. We did a paint correction and stuff, and did front lip and some other little things. But if you guys haven't seen it, we are doing the giveaway on this thing. It's 2016 BMW 340i. It's got a big giant Garrett G40 1150 turbo, built all-wheel drive 8-speed auto transmission, so it's all-wheel drive. It has the M Sport package. It's got big brakes. It's got heated seats, heated steering wheel. This car is freaking sick. It's got a ton of carbon fiber all over it, and I've driven it back and forth to the shop probably like 10 times, and let me tell you what, this thing freaking needs a radar detector because it just cruises so nice. It's so quick, it's so fast, and honestly, it almost ruins cars for you. It's that good. You don't want to hop in a Turbo Civic after you've been driving that thing. And I feel the same way about the newer trucks, is the newer trucks are so good, you almost don't want to hop in one of these things. But at the same time, when you get in something a little older and more mechanical, you just kind of appreciate it. It just feels more raw and whatever. So I don't know. I like cars. Maybe I'm slightly addicted, but hopefully you guys are too. Grab some entries for a chance to win the 340i. This thing's sick. Let me know what you guys think about this thing. And my 6-liter, I guess, is good. It seems like it's fine, other than the intercooler pipe, which is stuck on there. But appreciate you guys watching this video. See you later.